By Tequila Mandala. Cristina Brador is undefeated at 1-0. She is 3 inches taller and will have a 1-inch reach advantage. 25 years old, Leslie Hernandez is 6 years younger than Brador. Ron Kruk and Cub Swanson with you from Phoenix, Arizona. Once again, here's the voice of the LFA Octagon, Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA strawweight division, brought to you tonight by Tequila Mandala, a true artisanal tequila dedicated to those who demand extraordinary and special. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you now, fighting out of the blue corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5'6", weight in 115.8 pounds. Shows a professional record, 1 win, 0 defeats. Representing MMA Masters, fighting out of Miami, Florida, Cristina King Braids Brador. Her opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a striker standing 5'3", weight in 115.6 pounds. Shows a professional record, 1 win, 1 defeat. That win coming by way of knockout. Representing the MMA Lab, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, by way of Oaxaca, Mexico, Leslie Dora the Destroyer Hernandez. Your referee in charge of the action, Chris Flores.
Okay, ladies, we went over the instructions in the dressing room. I expect a clean fight. Touch gloves now if you like and go back to your corner.
As always, our fight odds coming in from a bet online, and they are extremely close odds tonight. Cristina Brador in the red tape comes in at a -118, and Leslie Hernandez -102. Brador 1-0 as a pro, Hernandez 1-1. Both her fights taking place in the LFA Octagon, and Brador's one fight as well. She got a win at LFA 165.
Yeah, Brador's switching stances right away, moving back and forth. I think it's making Hernandez kind of have to figure her out, going, what's going on here? Some nice leg kicks right away from Hernandez.
Hernandez, the striker, black belt in Taekwondo. She also, Cub, has over half a dozen boxing titles, including the WBC title. So she is a legit striker, no doubt about it.
Well, that's pretty cool to see. I think we're going to start seeing that more and more as years go on. These kids are they want to be fighters from such a young age now.
And we're seeing some crossover too, from MMA to boxing and boxing to MMA.
As you should. It's combat sports.
Yes.
Should be a fan of all of them. See, I like this. They're just standing right in the middle, and let's go. Hey, let's see who the better fighter is.
Hernandez, not shockingly, one victory coming by way of knockout. Went 3-0 as an amateur. Brador got her win via decision. She's actually got 3 consecutive victories when you go back to her amateur career.
Nice.
And that was not a mistake. She is known as King Braids, not Queen. She's the king. Said a basketball coach gave her that nickname. Fighting out of MMA Masters, Dana Chavez, and tough group down in Miami, Florida. And now we have our first takedown of the evening.
Well, they're both blue belts in jiu-jitsu, so on paper they're even. Let's see how it translates to MMA.
Brador on her back.
Yeah, usually you don't want to keep a closed guard for too long. That usually means that you're trying to catch your breath, and then when you're ready to try to do something defensively or offensively from your back, you need to open your guard up and start moving. Not a whole lot of closed guard attacks you see nowadays. They got to be super high level that feel confident enough to be doing stuff from the closed guard.
And Brador gave it a shot there with the elbow, but just missed. I like what Hernandez did there, Cub, using the cage wall to push both of herself and her opponent into more of the center of the octagon where she can operate a little bit more.
And that's something that I love to do as well. I like to take the cage out of the occasion, because when you're on top and the person on bottom's moving from their head to their legs to the cage, you know, trying to change position, they can kick off and roll you. So I want to not even have to worry about that. You want to kick off, drag them back to the middle and say, okay, let's fight here with no tricks. Get up, you got to work for it.
Great insight from the Hall of Famer, Cub Swanson. Good to have you back in the booth, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
LFA number 172. This is our final preliminary bout. Back-to-back strawweight matchups. Main card gets underway on UFC Fight Pass at 8 p.m. Mountain Time.
See, Brador's really trying to secure position, but what I'm always telling fighters is you need to posture up, you need to do damage. You can't be on top for too long, and then if Hernandez gets up right now and Brador hasn't done any real damage, then you almost did it for nothing.
45 seconds to go.
And yes, those kicks to the back of the legs, the hamstrings, they do hurt.
Oh yeah, and you could hear that one echoing here at the Arizona Financial Theater, and Hernandez attacks Brador, gets her back down. Good push off from Brador to get back up.
Yeah, you could tell she's having a hard time getting her footing. It does look pretty slick in there. She did use a little bit of a fence grab. The referee didn't say anything. So.
I thought so too. Hey, if you say so, that pretty much confirms it.
If the ref didn't see it, it's not illegal, right?
Well
is
said.
that true?
You tell me. You got a few more fights than me, man. Sounds like something that might have utilized in your career at some point.
Me, no.
No, never, never. Check into the corners. There's Cristina Brador, 31 years old, fighting out of Miami, Florida.
And some good corners, I might add. We got fighters in each corner. We got Batista and Chavez, and you know, that man, let me tell you, when you're a young fighter coming up and you have some heavy hitters in your corner, it gives you that confidence, like these people came to back me up. They took time out of their day to be here. They believe in me, so you all that are here should believe in me as well.
That's so well said. And you know, when we were talking at dinner last night, I love the story you told about, like, that's kind of where you felt like you arrived when you were being acknowledged by some of the legends that you looked up to when you started your career. I think Vitor Belfort was one of them.
Yeah, and the Nogueira brothers, you know, made me feel like I was on their level. That just blew me away, and I couldn't stop talking about it for a few weeks for sure.
That's so cool. Shout out to Big Nog, one of our LFA broadcasters down in Brazil. As round number 2 gets underway, second strawweight fight. And Brador now
spinning back fist, I like it.
She puts her foot on the gas. Reset in the center of the octagon. Cristina Brador with the red tape and Leslie Hernandez with the blue.
You know, traditionally in the first round, you're really feeling each other out, and you're usually going with the jabs, the kicks, the safe stuff. And then as you get comfortable, you start throwing the spinning back fists, the spinning back kicks, you know, the jumping knees, and so that's the fun part.
Brador just missed with that kick, and Hernandez able to capitalize now on the back. With 4 minutes to operate, she's got plenty of time.
Yeah, unfortunately, if it continues like this, then Brador might just win on pure getting into the best positions on some of these scrambles, and that's not how you want the fight to go. You want to be decisive, not on you landed in better positions and you scrambled a tiny bit better. You want to, you don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges and go, oh, they did slightly more than that.
Look at Leslie Hernandez going to work here. As you mentioned, Cub, blue belt and BJJ.
And once again, them being against the fence like this affects the way you grapple, because you're trying to get underneath of them, and your face is getting grinded on the cage or your shoulder, and people don't realize this, but the cage hurts.
Yeah.
It's not fun to be on.
And now Hernandez back inside the guard. I'm a little surprised that the WBC boxing champion and the black belt in Taekwondo, Leslie Hernandez, is really comfortable right now doing this battle on the ground. Like at this point, Cub, I was expecting her to say to Brador, get up, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. But here we go. I mean, I think she was looking for the takedown, wanting to get on top, and Hernandez ending up on her back. So this is just where the fight's going.
So Brador on her back, and Leslie Hernandez operating out of half guard as we approach 2 minutes to go. LFA 172 preliminary action. Ron Kruk and Cub Swanson with you tonight. Who's who of MMA stars in the house, Cub? We saw Sean O'Malley backstage, some Tividad brothers, some LFA veterans.
Jakar.
Yeah,
close.
That's nice.
Yeah, all the Arizona boys are here. That's nice.
It's always a great crowd here at the Arizona Financial Theater. I remember Horace Gracie was sitting behind us one fight. We had Don Fry. He came up too and said, "Hey, what's up?"
That's a great impression.
One of my favorites. Love doing features with Don Fry. Shout out, Cowboy. Hope you're doing well. We hit the 1 minute and 15-second mark. I'd love to know how much ground control that Hernandez has had in this second round. Been willing to do most of the fighting here on the canvas.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest the ref, could stand him up, but then she passed to half guard, and that's enough to kind of reset the clock of you can be on the ground a little longer. Because she is dominating, she's doing enough. She's not wowing us with what she does on the ground. She's just doing enough, and that's enough to win. Especially if you feel like the fight is really close, you gotta do the win.
Yeah, here we go. Now back on the feet with 30 seconds to go. See if the boxer Hernandez lets her fist fly, but Brador's saying, yeah. Oh, good jab from Hernandez. Yeah, I just heard Cristina Brador's corner say, don't exchange. They didn't like the distance. She was sitting there with the WBC boxing champ.
I mean, it seems like it had been pretty even standing.
So we will move on to the third and final round. Cristina Brador trying to take the stool from Leslie Hernandez, gets back to her corner. Both of these young ladies very early into their MMA careers. Hernandez, 25 years old, 1-1, and Cristina Brador, a little older, 31, but this is only her second professional MMA bout.
Yeah, you got to imagine the corners are really trying to give pep talks to both of them. With Brador, I think she's ahead, and her corner's probably telling her, you're doing all the right things, let's not take any chances, let's get this W. And then I'm imagining Hernandez's corner is saying, look, you cannot clinch up with her, you need to let those hands go, you need to finish, let's go.
So here we go, third and final round. Leslie Hernandez in the red tape and Cristina Brador with the blue tape. I might have mixed that up earlier, Cub, my bad. As we go in, and we're now in the third and final round. Hernandez, originally from Mexico, now fighting here and training out of the MMA lab, Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, under the great coach John Crouch.
she was starting off good with the double jab, the kick. Those are all the strikes that you want to keep your opponent at bay. But Brador just marches in and double underhooks. It's, you know, you got to be able to circle off of that. And that's something these girls will get better at with time. They're still pretty new.
Very early in their careers. Brador had a 2-year layoff between her final amateur fight and her pro debut. Made that pro debut in August.
Okay, Hernandez has her chance on top.
Yes, she does.
She's got plenty of time, 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and see what she can do. She's got that whizzer, trying to make sure that Brador can't get up, and she's really trying to, I feel like she's trying to make sure she can get the head so she can land those elbows. Yeah, Hernandez doing a good job keeping her down, but she does need to get to work. Honestly, even stand up.
And she is able to get back up on her feet, but yeah, right now you can see the blood on the face of Cristina Brador.
Yeah.
Hernandez doing some damage.
Did you see where that came from?
It was hard to see on the ground there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're on the ground and then you're getting your head squeezed. Oh, nice overhand.
And now Leslie Hernandez firing back. Wow.
Yeah, any kind of cut or bloody nose, you get your head squeezed, it comes out real quick.
And I can't really see where that cut is.
I don't know, it might be coming from her nose. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the best eyes.
Yeah, Goggles doesn't have the best eyes, come on. Goggles Swanson. Whoa. And Hernandez letting those fists fly, the boxer.
It's a nice body shot,
Yeah.
but just kind of stuffed by Brador. She's gonna look for another takedown. Hernandez really needs to make sure she doesn't hit the ground. She needs to be able to swim to get the underhook, circle away, and start landing some strikes. She's running out of time.
Struggling to get that takedown here.
Yeah, when people are trying to squeeze you and kind of pull you down like that, sometimes when you're this tired, you can make a lot of mistakes, and it's a good time to jump over the other side. You can do more flashy stuff if it pops in your brain, because they're just kind of desperate for the takedown, and they're not using the best technique. So it's a really good opportunity to reverse things.
That was a nasty elbow from Leslie Hernandez.
She's complaining to the ref. It's probably that she's either holding her gloves or holding the cage. I'm not sure.
Under a minute to go. This is the third and final round and our final preliminary fight at LFA 172. Back and forth here in the third round, Cub.
Yeah, this has been a great match. I would have liked to see another round or two with these two.
And finally, Brador is able to get Hernandez down.
Got a leg lock attempt, but it didn't happen. When you go for that knee bar upside down like that, you really need to kind of knock their weight over. That's the whole thing. And she kind of sprawled and sat into it and didn't let her weight get dropped off, and it killed it right away.
Time winding down, third round. Very entertaining bout, though, between Brador and Hernandez, and we will go to the judges' scorecards. I love it. Fighters embrace. It was a very entertaining strawweight matchup.
Yeah, it definitely was.
So maybe it was just coming from the nose?
Yeah, I think it was coming from her nose. But she did great. She did exactly what she needed to do to win. She must have felt that she couldn't just strike with her. She needed to use all her tools, and she did.
Yeah.
She stalled her out at the right times and you know, did what she had to do to win. I can appreciate that.
Well, the LFA strawweight division, women looking very impressive. Mark Berry's got some talented young ladies, including what's going down for the strawweight title December 15th at LFA 173. Gigi Canuto and Natalia Kuzutina fighting for the belt in Vegas. That's the first of back-to-back world championship title fights out in Vegas as the LFA wraps up the year. Our first trip ever cup to Sin City for LFA 173. You're going to make a special guest appearance, I hear.
I'm going to have to come out for that.
Yes,
I'll be in
sir.
town. I'm going to come with my kids, the whole family, my wife. We're going to make it a fun trip.
I love it, man. Great way to wrap up a very busy year for the LFA and on the eve of UFC 296.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And that back at the Palms, the LFA is
it's
going to be
been
at
a
the Palms.
long time.
I fought there a couple times.
Yes.
You know, it's got some memories for me.
I love
My
it.
last WEC fight was there.
That's right. That was the home of the WEC. After, of course, their home was the Tachi Palace back in the
before
day.
that,
Yes, that's how old I am.
Yes,
You
yeah.
know that.
I made
All
that
right.
dreadful trip a few times.
Oh, gosh. It's bad memories. No, great times, but that was a long trip. All right, let's now get the official decision. Go inside to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Cox scores this bout 29-28 Hernandez. Judge Curcio scores this bout 29-28 Brader. And Judge Corrado scores this bout 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Leslie Dora the Destroyer Hernandez.
Well, the split decision goes the way of 25-year-old Leslie Hernandez. Cubby, you a little surprised by that decision?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought with the amount of control time, you know, not all judges scored the same, but she had a lot of control time, and I don't think Leslie, she landed some good strikes and she did look good, but I don't think she landed so much to equal the amount of control time.
Well, maybe the judges got confused like the play-by-play guy did. I don't know. Either way, Leslie Hernandez gets her second career victory. She improved to 2-1 and gives Cristina Brador her first ever defeat as a pro. Well, that's going to do it for the LFA 172 preliminary fights here on YouTube and Facebook. Action continues at the top of the hour on UFC Fight Pass. For my broadcast partners, Mike Kendall and the great Cub Swanson. We'll see you over on UFC Fight Pass. Good night, everyone.